Hello sporters. Welcome to Endless Sport Time. Basketball is arguably hotter than ever before, but that was not always the case. The sport flourished in the 1990s, with some players you may have forgotten, but the 1980s brought some of the NBA's most legendary figures. The 80s was a different time for the NBA, but many players still left a legacy of their own, and are still often considered the best of the best. In fact, the reason many people consider the 80s to be a special golden age for basketball is because of the competition at the time. Let's have a look at the top 10 best players from 1980s. But please, keep in mind that this ranking is purely focused on the 1980s era of the NBA. 10. Isaiah Thomas. Truly great players spend most of their careers with one team, and so did Isaiah Thomas. The standout point guard joined the Pistons in 1981, where he spent the rest of his career with the team. He was named NBA Rookie of the Year when he joined the NBA in the 1988-89 and 1989-90 seasons, before leading the team to back-to-back championships. To this day, Thomas is considered one of the greatest NBA stars of all time. 9. Hakeem Olajuwon. While Hakeem Olajuwon might not be on everyone's top 10 list of players in the 80s, but many NBA fans forget the player's great defensive style. In fact, in 1984, Olajuwon showed his ability to be an immediate champion. He didn't win a championship until the 90s, but he did so well as a rookie that the only reason he didn't win Rookie of the Year was because Michael Jordan got a big one. 8. Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale played in the NBA throughout the 80s, and managed to stand out as a great player on one of the most dominant Celtics teams of all time. It took him years to really warm up, but when he peaked, no one could catch him. To this day, McHale is often considered one of the key players on the NBA's greatest teams. He was so good that some of his games ended up being nicknamed the Torture Chamber. 7. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's legacy is known to all NBA fans, and that explains why he was one of the biggest stars of the 80s. After joining the NBA, Jordan made a big difference for the Bulls, and was named Rookie of the Year. The Bulls didn't peak until the 1990s, but it was thanks to the powerhouse teams like the Celtics and Pistons of that era. Jordan was able to keep the Bulls competitive, even though they were not the prettiest team in the league. 6. Julius Erving. Julius Erving was already great even before the 80s, and actually retired in the 80s. He still deserves to be remembered for his amazing play. He became an NBA champion in 1983 with the 76ers, one of the biggest contenders at the time. Larry Bird is legendary for his play, and has many rivals, including Erving. The duo has put on some of the biggest clinics in sports history, and even hosted games on behalf of the competition. 5. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. For those of you who don't know how legendary Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is, he won 6 NBA championships in his career, 5 of them in the 1980s. It's safe to say that, in the late 1980s, he wasn't the most important member of team, but still Kareem had power on the court. He was named Finals MVP in 1985, and was an NBA All-Star for 10 years, before retiring in 1989. To date, Kareem holds some impressive NBA records that few can beat. Hello guys. If it's your first time here, and so far you find this content interesting, don't hesitate to press the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell, so that you'll be alerted each time we post a new video like this. So far so good, let's continue. 4. Mose Malone. There are many reasons why Moses Malone is one of the best players, but 3 of his most valuable players, 2 of which were in the 1980s, and his 1983 NBA championship win say it all. After coming close to multiple wins with the Rockets, Malone jumped to the 76ers in 1982, and eventually won the title. He remained competitive throughout the 1980s, and was named to All-Star Game 9 straight year the decade. 3. James Worthy. In the late 1980s, Los Angeles Lakers lifer James Worthy helped the team win 3 separate championships. Worthy officially joined the league in 1982, and took some time to settle into the league due to injuries that continued during his rookie season. He bounced back quickly, and the Lakers became the most dominant force in the league, with the help of other legends of the sport. However, Worthy's ability as a small forward was a big part of the team's championship-winning success. 2. Larry Bird. When Larry Bird made his way into the NBA, he was immediately successful. The three-time NBA champion is not only considered one of the greatest players of the decade, but also one of the greatest in history. He was a member of the 1986 Celtics, one of the most dominant teams in NBA history. He competed against legends like Magic Johnson and Julius Erving. He fell up a bit in the late 80s, but Bird went back to the top. 1. Magic Johnson. The man, the myth, the legends. Magic Johnson was a five-time NBA champion in the 80s. He spent his entire NBA career with the Lakers, which turned out to be pretty good for one of the best players in history. He won NBA championships in 1980, 1982, 1985, 1987, and 1988, and won several additional trophies during that time. His rivalry with Larry Bird is one of the most legendary events in NBA history, and is still fondly remembered today. We have come to the end of this video. I hope you learned something new from this one. Share your impressions about this video with us in the comments section down below. Also, if you think I left out something, please bring it up. See you all in the next video.